Hey Loc'd Babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a loctician here based in the state of Connecticut. So if you love all things locks and lifestyle, you are definitely in the right channel. Today we're going to discuss the different phases of lock growth. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, stay tuned. Okay, welcome back, Loc'd Babes. So today we're going to discuss the different phases of lock growth. So I like to say that there are 5 different stages of lock growth. You have your starter phase, you have your baby phase, you have your teen phase, you have your mature phase, and then you have your fully matured phase. So there's 5, right? So we're going to run down all 5 so you can determine where you are and where you have left to go, and what you should be expecting in each phase. Some people say like things aren't common, but there's so many things that are common during the phase that you could be in that sometimes you just have no idea. So let's get started. So we're going to title this one, the starter phase. Congratulations, you have decided to join us in this wonderful journey of lock goodness. You either started your locks with twists, braids, instantly, you either have traditional locks, micro locks, instant locks, you did something where you started your locks and you are excited. You either have 30 locks or you have 600 locks. It doesn't matter how many locks you have. You just started, you look scalpy, your locks look super thin, you might be having buyer's remorse, and you're like, is my hair even locked yet? Like, what are these? During this phase, you're about maybe I'll say you're between 1 and 6 months. You're experiencing so much frizz, you feel like a frizz ball. But don't worry, that is completely normal. Your hair is trying to figure out what you were doing. They're trying to figure out, hey, your strands are like, we were loose, but now we're stuck together and we keep getting stuck together. Is this what we want to do? Yes. During this phase, again, you're going to experience a lot of frizz. It is completely normal. Embrace the frizz. I made a video yesterday about embracing the frizz. If you are struggling right now with the frizz that you're going through in the starter phase, please watch yesterday's video. It will inspire you, it will encourage you, and you will be okay, I promise. During this phase, your locks start to tangle, they start to mat. You can see some of them are probably still loose at the ends, and you're confused whether some are locking or some are not. All of that is happening at the same time. During this phase, I would also recommend that you avoid over manipulation and avoid heavy products. Over manipulating your hair during this phase can stunt your lock growth, okay? You want your locks to be free. You want them to swell. You want them to just do whatever they want to do. If you are doing tight styles or whatever it is that you're doing, you are shrinking the growth cycle. It's going to take longer for your hair to lock. You want them to expand and you want them to just do its thing. So no over manipulation and no heavy products. Phase 2 is the baby phase. Baby phase? Not the baby phase. Phase 2 is the baby phase. Hold on though. I love baby face. Y'all love baby face? And baby face is still fine. That man is still fine. Have y'all seen him recently? I don't think he's aging. He's aging backwards. I don't know. Anyway, sorry guys. You're in the baby phase. This is 6 months to a year of your lock journey. During this phase, your locks are still forming. They're getting more unified. They are more established. They're actually staying in their section a little bit more. You will still experience unraveling. You will still experience some loose ends. All of your locks are not on the same growth level. You might see some that are looser and you might see some that are further along. Your hair is just like a jungle of different things happening at the same time. Frizz is still very prominent during this stage, but it's settling just a tad bit where you can now see the different sections in your hair. At this point, they may be a little puffy. You still may be experiencing a little shrinkage. There may still be a little bit of give on the lock. So when you pull it, it still may, be a little bit more elastic. It won't be completely formed yet, but you're definitely going in the right direction. During this stage, your locks are slowly starting to mature. You still want to avoid heavy products and buildup, and you still want to make sure that you stay on your maintenance schedule, as it will aid you with the maturing process and the frizz process. The next phase that you enter is the teen phase. Congratulations, you're a teenager all over again. This varies. So this is about 1 to 2 years. Now your locks will settle. You will definitely see less frizz, but the frizz will still be there. Your locks are maturing now. They should look more uniform. They should resemble more of a lock. Although it's not your final form yet, it should resemble more of a lock than it did prior. And you've had a whole year or two now, and your locks are looking like locks. During this stage, you can also relax a little bit. You can start to now move out your retwisting or retightening schedule. So if you were every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks consistently, now you can look at every 7 weeks, every 8 weeks. You can start to move things back a little bit more because your hair is understanding that it's going to remain in the lock. Then we move on to stage 4, the mature phase. This is about between year 2 to 3. Okay, your locks they're matured now. So they all look uniform, they're a lot firmer, they're sturdy, they're solid. You can feel them, they don't feel as puffy. The frizz is minimal to almost non-existent, and they're just doing their thing. They're growing, they're thriving. At this time, your hair should have dropped. So before, when your hair was shrinking in the baby stage and the teen stage, now your locks should be dropping. You should have basically a whole new head. At this stage is when you can start entertaining lots of things. If you like to dye your hair, this would be a good time to dye your hair, to try new intricate styles. This is the time where you can actually put your hands down and you'll finally have a low maintenance hairstyle. I know people get locks and they think, oh, it's super low maintenance. Not in the starter, baby, or teen stage, it's not. It's pretty high maintenance. But when you get to the mature stage, now you're grown. Now you can kick back and just enjoy your hair and let your locks lock. And the last and final stage is the 5th stage, the fully matured stage, the final form stage, the you grown stage, okay? This usually happens between years 3 and 7. Obviously, it varies with hair type, it varies with hair schedule, it varies on how you started your hair, how often you manipulate it. Everything varies. Nothing is cookie cutter, but I wanted you guys to have an idea of how the phases work. So the mature stage now, your locks are locked. You in here, boo. They in here. You fully locked now. And you can do whatever you want with your hair. Dye, curl, cut, whatever it is you want to do with your hair, you can do it. The frizz is basically non-existent. It's very minimal at that. It might just be frizzy at your roots as the new growth comes in. But the rest of your locks will be uniform, they'll be solid, they'll be sturdy, and you will have locks. At this point, you require minimal maintenance. You can stretch your reties or not really your reties. You still want to be careful with your reties because the locks are so small. You want to be careful that you don't go too long because you don't want them to break off at the root. But if you're getting retwists, you can see your loctician or your stylist, I don't know, every 8 to 12 weeks at this point. So I wanted you guys to have an idea of how the phases of the lock formation actually works. So again, we have the starter stage, the baby stage, the teen stage, the mature stage, and the fully matured.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stage. Okay, guys, so now that you have an idea of how all the lock stages work, what stage are you in? Where are you currently? With me and this set of locks, I am now in my teen stage. I am just over a year locked. So as you can still see, I definitely still have some frizz. There's still some things going on. Like I said, this little one that always wants to salute is still here. It's solidified. You can see that it's there, but there's still a lot more to go. There's still a lot more growing and changing and things to do, but I still have some unraveling. So the back of my head still unravels at time because the front of my head and the back of my head are 2 different textures. Guys, the moral of this story is there are different phases and no 2 people's locks are ever the same. Your locks are unique to you. Your lock journey is also unique to you. So I know on YouTube and all these other platforms, we can have lock envy and be jealous and wish ourselves into another stage, another phase. But just know, like, once you go through the phases, that's it. So enjoy the phase, enjoy the ride, enjoy your journey. Remember that your lock journey is your lock journey. No one else's lock journey will ever be the same. Even if you started the same exact way, your hair types are completely different. Your strands are different. Everything is different. So your locks are unique to you. Okay, guys? Thank you for joining me today on day 10 of our Loc Care series. Until next time.